G'day, welcome back to Builtum, and in this video I want to talk about stair components and some stair terminology. So here's a set of stairs we're going to build, and obviously the platform or floor or whatever that we're going to go up to. So I'm going to get rid of this set and we'll bring it back in bit by bit. The first thing you need to know is a couple of dimensions. One is the rise of flight. So obviously this is the height that the stair is going to go from. Now, even though I've shown it from this point here up to this point here, that is not always the correct measurement, because sometimes with the external stairs the ground is not level, so that the point that the stair leaves from or starts at is going to be different to this point back here. So the rise of flight is always from the bottom of the first step to the top of the last step. So you need to just be aware of that. If you're outside, you need to make sure you can level wherever the stairs start from back to the wall or the deck, so you can get that rise of flight. You also have the going of the flight, which is from the front of the first step to the back of the last one, so that the first step is going to start where that going of flight measurement comes to. We have our stringers, or our support members for our stairs. They don't always have to be timber, but they support our stairway or staircase, and they're called a stringer or a string. Yeah, so that's what they are. Then of course have our treads. Be careful we don't get these different mixed up with our goings. Going is just a dimension, tread is a physical thing. So in this case our treads are made up of three different pieces of timber. If you do make your treads out of three different pieces or several pieces of timber, you have to have a gap between them to allow the water through them. You can't just have them butted up as one member, or they can be one continuous or one single wide board. The gap, or in some cases the piece of timber between our treads, is referred to as a riser. This particular set of stairs is an open riser staircase, so it has no riser, but that's what that's referred to. A lot of internal stairs would have a riser board in there closing that gap up. We then have our newel posts to support our handrail, and in between, filling in the gaps, we have our balusters. Now our balusters, handrail and newel post all go together to make up our balustrade, something that's commonly referred to as the handrail, but it's actually a balustrade, and it's made up of those three members: newel post, handrail and balusters. So they're the main components. Now a couple of terminology. We have the rise of flight. We also have the rise of step. So the rise of the step is the distance from the top of one step to the top of the next step, or from the ground where we start to the top of the first one. So that is the rise of step. It has to be a consistent measurement. If we're out by even a couple of mil, we will get trip problems with our stairs. So the rise of step is always a constant dimension. We also have the going of our step, which is a measurement from the front of one step to the front of the next one. Again, that needs to be a constant dimension, because we can get trip hazards again if that's not constant. And notice, even though I've got the going of the step comes to there, the tread is actually a little bit wider. That's not a problem. That's why we don't want to get our treads and our goings mixed up. So going of the step is just a dimension from front of the first step to the front of the next one, whereas the tread is just the actual timber itself. We also have this distance here, which is referred to as the margin. It's the distance from the edge of our stringer to the point of our stairs. and that can be anything you like. You could even have no margin if you wished. We could have a negative margin, but most of the stairs I build have a 50mm margin. And underneath, we're required with external stairs to have some sort of galvanized threaded rod to tie our stairs together. You can still have the treads nailed in, but we need to have tie rods placed underneath our treads, roughly every 1350. One top, one under the first, somewhere at the start, under the first couple of steps, one under the top couple of steps, and every 1350 in between. So there you go, there's our external staircase and all the components and terminology that go with it.